This week in Avengers 4 News.
Right. Because there's something every week to talk about. That's
I know,
the genius thing.
I'm going to get Drew Lane this shit. Oh, by the way, spoiler warning. The trailer starts out by showing the damaged Infinity Gauntlet in a field on the farm planet, which we can sort of guess that it is Gamora's homeworld, is at least what I guessed at the end of Infinity War. You know, it's obviously up for interpretation. Continuing on, as the camera focuses in on the gauntlet, we hear Tony's voice. We were destined to lose. An epic music score starts. The Quinjet is shown landing in Wakandan wasteland as we hear Steve Rogers say, "We've come so far." Tony and Nebula step out of the jet as the remaining Avengers approach. Again, it's got to be a weird ride over there, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think they stopped at Wall Drug on the way there?
What the heck is Wall Drug?
I understood that reference.
Yes!
The Avengers approach. Steve has a look of relief on his face and says, "Tony?" Tony, seemingly defeated, shakes his head and gives a friendly smirk back to Cap. The Marvel Studios logo appears. We get a brief glimpse of the Battle of New York from the 2012 Avengers. Loki is shown looking around shocked and baffled as he is on top of Stark Tower. Next, we see the Wakandan throne as Baku is sitting at the helm. He's surrounded by his new Kingsguard, a mix of the Hill tribe and Dor Milaje. Shuri and Banner are seen working on a new project in the lab. Black Widow, in full gear, is in Hawkeye's family home from Avengers Age of Ultron. Basically, everything is thrown all over the place and broken. Ned is studying some type of map with multiple photos and locations on it. A quick shot of Thanos is shown with a long sword walking down an alleyway in New York City. The next shot is of a dark hooded figure with glowing eyes aiming a bow and arrow before shooting towards the camera. So, obviously, that is a reference to Hawkeye. Let's kind of just go over that a little bit there. Thanos walking down an alleyway with a broadsword in New York City.
Sweet.
Do you think that would be during the modern time, or do you think that might be part of the flashback into the Avengers 2012?
I've got no idea right now.
So here, stay with me here because this is kind of going through my head as I'm saying it.
All right.
In the main timeline, Avengers are gathering up Infinity Stones from going back in time. What if they go back in time to go get the Tesseract from the original Avengers 2012 movie, but that's actually where the final battle takes place, and Thanos actually goes back in time as well. So Thanos then joins the original Battle of New York.
Oh, that'd be pretty sweet. I see what you're saying. Because he can use the time stone.
1 to 2 visuals of the quantum realm are shown. Scott Lang, with no suit, is shown running through a park and dodging explosions. There's a shot of space. Thor and Valkyrie are on board a Kree ship.
Yes, I want her to be in the movie so bad.
Thor says, "If the stories are true, you're our universe's last hope, if even such a thing exists anymore." Now, when reading that sentence, you have to think that Thor and Valkyrie are on a Kree ship that is possibly holding Captain Marvel, and Thor is saying those words to Captain Marvel.
I hope so. From what I understand right now, yes, that would make sense. But
Yeah.
I mean, like all these damn trailers, they fucking edit it in a way that tricks your mind.
It's misdirection, man. Continuing on here, the next shot is an older, more determined Tony Stark walking through the new S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, which is the Avengers facility in upstate New York. He's in full S.H.I.E.L.D. attire and carrying an orange briefcase. Could it be the sling rings or could it be the barf technology? Who knows? Banner, wearing spandex, is seen running from something and looking terrified. The next shot is of Ant-Man appearing out of a flash of light and landing in a desolate place. We see it is from his point of view in his helmet. He looks to the right and to the left and says, "What in the..." And the camera focuses on Vormir and its stars. So either they're describing it as two different scenes or Ant-Man is showing up on Vormir. Could be either one. Either one sounds interesting. Next we see this is my favorite part. Next we see a shot of Rocket and Nebula modifying some weapons in the lab. And Rocket says, "When do we get to try this bad boy out?" They both smile and then they fist bump. So that kind of goes along with what Karen Gillan has been saying. She's been saying that in Avengers 4 she has a new best friend in the movies. And it's a very unlikely pairing. Now, thinking of Nebula and Rocket being an unlikely pairing is not really that unlikely. But I think that their petulance for violence and, hurting people, I think, would make them a good pair. And I think that this scene would work pretty well. And I think
it's it's like Falcon in Bucky.
Seriously, I want a buddy cop movie featuring those two. I want
I don't want
48 Hours style.
No, I don't want that. I want to see Bucky and Falcon go on a cross-country road trip, hitting up Greasy Spoon diners, talking about the food they eat in the diners.
Anthony Mackie can make that interesting. I guarantee he could. I guarantee he could.
They have to sleep in like shitty motels and like eat at greasy spoons and just talk to like normal people, and they just travel across the country in like an old station wagon.
All right, going back to the description. We get our first glimpses of Iron Man in his red and gold nanotech armor. Hulk falls from the sky and lands right in front of him. Thanos, in full armor, smiles. Hulk smiles back. The next shot is in Japan. War Machine, Nat, and Steve, in their full Avengers gear, are surrounded by the Yakuza, and Ronin parts the Yakuza, walking through everybody, and approaches the Avengers with an intense exchange of looks between Clint and Natasha. So he's in a bad mood, apparently.
So Clint is Ronin now.
Yeah, allegedly, yeah. But,
maybe they need the Yakuza to armor up to fight the bad guys.
You are fighting a goddamn alien that's almost indestructible with 6 Infinity Stones. What the hell is some ninja going to be doing to him? Oh, wait. That's Black Widow. Wait a second.
Right.
You know, because the city is flying. Okay, look, the city is flying. We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow.
None of this makes sense. That's the best line of the entire fucking movie. By fucking far. All right, moving on with the description here. The next shot is at the Sanctum. Wong is communicating with Doctor Strange's soul via a portal. A gray-haired Tony Stark and Ant-Man are in a post-apocalyptic New York City. The screen flashes back and forth multiple times through multiple scenes. We see Captain Marvel floating with her fists on fire and her eyes lit up. Thanos in the Soul World with young Gamora screaming at him. Loki and Thor fighting the Chitauri together. And Tony handing Steve a brand new shield in Wakandan throne room. So that one sentence there, Thanos in the Soul Stone with young Gamora screaming at him, and Loki and Thor fighting off Chitauri together. Again, another thing to my theory that the final battle of this whole fucking thing might be the actual Battle of New York from 2012.
Right. But I mean, if that was the case, then he'd have to go back in time to that battle to convince Loki to fight with them against the army and Thanos.
Well, you can certainly do that if you have the Mind Stone. You can go into Loki's mind, or you can go into Thor's mind. Remember how like Xavier did in Days of Future Past. Okay, so we cut back to Tony and Scott. Tony opens the orange briefcase as Scott hands him an illuminated bracelet. Tony asks, how is this even possible? Iron Man and Ant-Man are shown traveling through the quantum realm. Tony and Scott are back in the Battle of New York from 2012. And the final shot before the title is an Infinity Stone disappearing from Thanos' damaged gauntlet. He abruptly gets up and puts on his armor. His face goes from eventually infuriated to a menacing smile. Title reveal, Avengers Annihilation. After the title reveal, the stinger is the Hulk is training at a new S.H.I.E.L.D. facility with Black Widow and Steve. Steve notices that Hulk has been training nonstop as of late, so he asks why. Hulk responds in Banner's normal voice, my rematch is coming real soon. I can feel it. A lot to digest there. A lot to digest. That's it.
It's a lot to digest. I'm not really sure where to start. I will say that if I have to hear Hulk say that at the end of the fucking trailer, I am going to be disappointed.
I think that's a cool line.
No, really?
Yeah.
I think it's cheesy.
I mean, yeah, it's cheesy as shit, but I still like it.
I guess maybe if I saw it.
I mean, you get to see Hulk talk in a normal Banner voice. I mean, that's pretty fucking cool unto itself.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
And it's also got the subtext of what happened in Avengers Infinity War where Thanos kicked the shit out of him.
Just picture this. Picture the Force Awakens trailer. You're describing it to me, and at the very end you say Han Solo says, "Chewie, we're home." Now that gets me excited. That gets me thinking, "Wow, that's fucking sweet." When you say that, Hulk says that, I'm like, oh, that's so cheeseball. Like,
so was the Han Solo line.
Fucking blow me.
Well, I'm just saying this. You have the same premise. I mean, it's a cheesy line that it's meant to garner up some type of emotion in you. I don't know. I'm sitting here trying to defend it, and as I'm defending it, I'm like, it's not that big of a deal, but it kind
here's
of
my emotion. I don't get it.
Well, okay. Well, speaking of, besides the fact that this trailer is going to be 15 minutes long,
right?
Out of all these things, I can kind of guess that Thanos walking down the street in New York City. Like, if
I want to see that. I want to see that right now.
I want to see it too, but I don't think that it's actually, because that would tie in way too much into my theory of the final battle of the whole entire thing is the Battle of New York from 2012. So, and I don't think that they are going to do that for the end of the film, because I think that would be a little too anticlimactic, and then it would take 6 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe off the table.
I don't think.
What I mean?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. Well, I think something's going to happen. I still think the only way for any of us to turn out good for anybody, including Thanos, is Thanos has to sacrifice the stones, the gauntlet, himself to save other people. Like, I think he's going to end up. Something's going to have to happen where he's going to end up having to maybe switch his,
Switch his allegiance.
Yeah, to bring Gamora back to life, because I really think that they tried to really portray that. It really affected him, right?
Yeah.
And he really loved her, and I feel like there's going to be some kind of redemption for him if you can find a redeemable quality in a man like Thanos or an alien.
Well, I mean,
he's got to redeem himself somehow, and I think it's going to involve Gamora, bringing Gamora. He's got to sacrifice something from himself. Either he's got to sacrifice the stones and not kill half the universe, or he's got to sacrifice himself. I don't see him doing that.
I see what you're saying, but I also... Thanos has changed his allegiance in the comics so many times.
Hey, how's this for a little plot twist? Thanos snaps his fingers and he disappears. How come he doesn't disappear?
I think that was just a risk he was willing to take.
It's a ballsy. You got a 50-50. It's a fucking coin flip. Oh, man. I don't know. I still think it's got something to do with Captain Marvel and, the Kree, the Skrulls. Yeah, I just think that that's going to be more prominent than we think right now in Avengers 4. And I'm not really sure how. I want to see it. I want to see Thanos with a sword in New York. I want to see Captain Marvel fighting with the rest of the Avengers. I want to see Nebula and Rocket making weapons together.
Yeah.
I want to see Tony and Steve make up. Become best buds again. I want to see Tony young. I want to see Tony. I want to see all this shit happen. I can't wait till fucking April. It's not fair. May.
It's gutting when you think of it. I'm thinking of it right now, and I'm like, I want to see it right now, but I like the anticipation. I like the fact that, every single week we have something new to talk about and digest from just one fucking movie. One fucking movie.
I could spend an hour talking about this.
It's incredible to me that studio has done so much, not only for filmmaking, but for fans. It's never going to be done again, and I think that we're taking real life out of everything and the depressing bullshit that it is. This is one thing that can make everyone something to look forward to almost on a daily basis.